There I am.
Now we are. There we are.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome to the Designer Show.
My
Hello.
messy
Hi.
office today.
That was a
You
grand.
guys get my messy office today.
Oh, welcome. We've got we've got the bench team right now.
No leadership or guidance here.
Yeah, no leadership. Yeah, Dan and John are out teaching people how to do things in Chief today.
And look out, you've got the primary 3 ADD guys right here.
Yeah, we don't know how to run a show to save our lives.
It's going to be great.
This ought to be good.
I like that.
And anyways, welcome everybody. And we don't. The other big problem is they kind of left us with just an open-ended discussion for today's show. So we need you in the comments, and this is going to be challenging because I think I'm the only one that has access to pin the comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's because I like it when I have
me.
access to it.
You'll have to tell me to pin them.
We'll exit.
All
Say
right,
hello to Nikki, everybody.
Hello, Nikki. There you are.
Hello, Nikki.
I finally got to meet Nikki at KBIS this year.
Yeah.
So
she's really good.
Although wait, no, I
She's
think I met her at work before. I have such a difficult time. I don't know about you, but I have such a difficult time putting the names and faces in Facebook to the real person sitting in front of you. And I'm like,
yes.
Especially when instead anything that you do on a chat stream someplace or a posting is a picture of their dog. You know, like,
yeah.
Or like Lance's here is a picture of his company name, and I met Lance. We met Lance. He was in Idaho, Coeur d'Alene.
Vicky wants Vicky, we are going to do a full show on X17 at the next designer show. So it's the 1st of June.
Yeah, well, we'll answer a few things. I would say like one feature that I'd be happy about in X17, and I knew this was going to come up right here from David Merrick, is have you looked at project management X17? I mean, that's going to be the big thing that'll burn a whole show talking about that. So that one's
I just saw that.
And then I guess Chad's responding to having trouble putting the name to the face on Chad. No, Chad, you're a unique circumstance. I don't know why. You have a memorable
He lives in his own
face,
world.
I guess.
Everybody knows Chad. Everybody knows Chad.
I gotta see if I can put this up on the screen real quick.
I just keep wondering what he looks like when he climbs out of the shower. What does that mustache?
He probably has a cover lid on it. You can't ruin the best mustache in the world.
I do want to answer. Let me answer Nikki Kelly's question. What happened to the back catalog? Dan is actually redoing all of those classes. He's in the process of redoing them all, and it's going to become a different format. But he's in the process of redoing all of that.
Okay.
So hold tight.
What's the back
just hold
catalog?
tight. It's all of his classes. All of his old training. Okay. You have to know some of those were really old. You know, they were like X10 and X9, and they're old. So now they're all being updated.
I looked at one of those the other day, thinking because it showed up in recent that it was recent, and I got about 3 or 4 minutes into it, going, "Wait a minute, this is very old news here." So
yes.
Hey, can I get a little drum roll?
I don't know if you can hear it.
Look at that!
Was that good enough? Did you hear it at all?
Yeah, man. Get it real tight here.
That's a good-looking guy.
Dude. That's a good-looking guy.
That's a good-looking guy.
No, it is a.
And now Chad is like under his desk. So ouch,
Merlin.
Chad.
This is my favorite, Merlin Phillips. He just upgraded to my pro plan for X17. Cool.
Oh, no wonder that's your favorite.
Yeah, man, I've been pumping some new features into that lately. I can't wait to release some of this stuff. All right, what are we going over today?
You answer Shane. We'll go down to Shane's question. He says he's been seeing the Chief X17.
Only supports ARM processors on Mac. Not ARM. It's
silicon.
Yeah, they're M1 and above chips for X17. They stopped supporting Intel based. So
for Max?
Yeah, for Max. So if you have like, what was it? 2021 was the last time they were selling those Intel-based Macs, I think. So anybody on 2021 can't. It seems like you're not able to use X17, which is surprising and not surprising at the same time to me. But we could burn a whole show talking about that, about what's going on behind the scenes for that kind of stuff. So. And then,
so if you guys have questions on anything today, we were really going to spend some time talking about stairs. But if you have, and some tricks that Renee has tricks. He always has a new trick. But there's some cool things that he's been doing that he showed me that I was pretty impressed with. And you might, obviously you'll get something from it. But if you have questions, please put them in the chat and we'll answer them. Okay?
Yeah. We'll try to answer.
We'll try to.
I don't know. I'm going to build stairs right now, Robin. I'm going to build some really custom ones.
That's a heck of a set of stairs.
Yeah. It's going to be a peanut. Oh, isn't this challenging when you try to do this whole
good
thing?
Luck.
Yeah. Get over there. Get over there. Get back.
Okay.
There you go.
So is this an Escher set of stairs?
Yeah. This is going to be an Escher set of stairs. I'm going to just start with the most custom stairs I could come up with and go from there. How about that? This is going to be really ugly. What do you want to see about stairs, though? Let's talk about that. What are we looking at? When you think of your stair questions, what comes up?
Well, I watched your new video that you had out, that short on your video on stairs, and there were some really good things in there that I just thought was very helpful. So, and I don't know if everybody watches your shorts. That sounds weird, but
I watch my own shorts. Thank you. I do my own laundry.
Watch.
Robin, you ask some very strange questions.
I do. Yes. Yeah. It's an odd little world I live in.
Up there. Nice. I wish I had studied that video so that I even know what you're referencing, but I'm going to start by doing a very, very custom set of stairs, and just to let you know just how cool stairs can be. Let me see if I can find this real quick in my library. And I know my icons are super small. I need to bring those up next time. But I've got something here that is a staircase you can do a lot with stairs that just aren't your, out of the box tool. And I'm going to show you that right now, which is I just dropped a set of stairs in this plan, and you'd be surprised where they are and what they look like. That is a set of stairs, believe it or not.
That's a very strange set of stairs.
It's a very strange set of stairs, right? Let's just do a little edit on it. And I'm just going to say that the top height of these stairs is -19. And check this out. Doesn't that just look like a slope in a pool?
It does.
Wow. Anybody know how this is even happening, what it's doing? Can you take a guess at what this is even made of? So anytime that we have,
it's a cabinet, but it's not.
It's not. It's a set of stairs.
Is this a default structure out of Chief, or is this something that you've manipulated?
So this is just a normal set of stairs, and the only thing that we've done is that we've unchecked automatic treads, and we're specifying treads. And so the tread depth here is just 1 inch. So it's a really short, itty bitty little stair. And then the riser height's super short as well. And the last part that makes this special is winders is checked. And I'll show you what exactly winders do in this case. Winders, you think of this in a traditional sense, and you're probably going to go to like a corner set of stairs where you want winders in the corner. But if instead you're just trying to get a unique shaped set of stairs, watch as I'll draw my room divider here. I need to create a room in order for this to work. Okay, so I'm going to create a room, and I'm going to make part of this just be a shape. Right, so I've just got an arched room, and let me just square this off. And so then if I draw a set of stairs inside of this room, and if this set of stairs is close enough to that room's edge, and we open this up and we set it to have winders, look at that. It's going to expand to the shape of that room. I'm just going to build a second floor real quick so we can really see this, and take this down, and we'll just make an opening above. Now, the only thing that's kind of funny about this is if you do the auto stairwell tool, what happens? It builds the stairs opening based on the staircase itself. It does not take into account the winders. So the opening is going to be a lot smaller than what you need it to be, and you'd have to edit that and bring those walls up to create your own opening. So you would do this. You would just take those room dividers that you use to create those winders, you'd copy them to the floor above, and hopefully you'd get rid of these walls that were already here and copy to the floor above, except for I missed one, or I deleted one. Oops. We're gonna find glitches in X17 right now. That'll be exciting. There we go. And now this should just be defined as open below. So if you're going to make custom shaped winders, you're going to have to define your own room so that it's open below. And it's funny, it makes that one wall disappear. I'm really good at breaking software.
Good job. Well, nice. Considering what you're doing with it, see why. So do you also then have a trick for sloping the treads so that you end up with a continuous line over the length, or not?
Let's go. I'm going to see if I can find this. Oh, we did all kinds of funny things here. All right. I made the rest of the house a pool somehow.
Yeah, but now if you just read what's happening in X17, they have a slope control. So wouldn't you now do that just with using a ramp?
Oh, that's true, huh? Can we do that doing a ramp? No, because they won't. Ramps don't do winding.
That's great.
Ramps don't have a winder.
Don't have a winder, but there's your shaped stairs. Oh, someone guessed this, huh? Look at that. Look at Shane Pittman.
Well, yeah, actually, Aaron did it first. Aaron got it first.
Oh yeah, there's a race.
Oh no, Vicky came in. Vicky came in first with it. Sorry. Vicky's post came in before Aaron's.
This is fun.
We need to send them,
do like somehow some kind of guessing game thing all the time. So what else do we have with stairs? Let's just go through the dialog box and take a look at some of these settings and what they mean to people and how we can manipulate this. One of the things I think is kind of an undervalued thing about the staircase dialog is that it gives you all this information right here, which I think is awesome. And I'm slowly getting considered to be a macro guy, which I like. And if you're starting in on macros, this is one of the things that you can try to figure out is you can get all this information into a text box very easily with macros. So where you can find out all this info, and annotate with this info as opposed to inputting this info where you might input the info wrong. And another thing that I love about this dialog box is that it tells us the rise angle, which means that we can do some really cool things with windows if you ever need to, using the window tool and setting your roof's rise angle to this angle, and in the window saying in the shape panel, match roof. And so you can get a window to match the pitch of your staircase in case you want to make something that looks like some paneling under your stairs. I show that in some other videos. People were telling me I need to sell things. That's in my VIP membership area of my YouTube, and I'll talk about that a little later.
Renee, would you?
What'd you say?
Cool.
Oh, you were prompting me. Gotcha.
Well, you were saying that putting that panel underneath the stairs, but if it's in your VIP thing, then that's where it is.
It is where it is, but we can.
Like I don't understand what you're using.
Like kind of a rudimentary thing of that. But in the general panel here, I mean, this can be very confusing to a lot of people. I find it to be confusing just out of the box. It does not seem like an intuitive way to go about setting our staircases up. automatic treads, automatic heights, lock bottom. How does this all correlate? What happens when you uncheck one automatic? Does the other automatic uncheck? No, it's a little more complex than that, but it's meant to be intuitive. I just don't find it, out of the box for a beginning user. This does not seem very intuitive at all, especially if I want to specify a riser height and I'm going to uncheck automatic heights, and I know that I want my riser to be 7.75 because that's what it actually was. And wait a minute, my tread depth is 10.5. So I guess I unlock this and I go 10.5, but actually I don't think the bottom height is correct. And I've got this landing in between. And so when you start messing around with these and suddenly these numbers change, especially when you have a split section stair, this gets really, really complex. The thing I always like to remind people of is the stair tool is a pretty complex tool. We can draw a stair section, draw another stair section, and with the stair tool still active, you can always click in between and it will generate a landing for you. Okay, so it's a really good thing to practice and figure out how to utilize, and this part's really awesome. Another thing about the stairs that kind of drives me nuts is that we don't have concentric resize. So if you know where the center of your stairs are, but you want to resize that width on either side, this isn't an easy process to do. You kind of have to remember how much you want to resize one side versus the next. So 3'3" stairs, and let's say I need it to be a 4-foot stair. Now I got to do some math. We lost you, Robin.
I know. Bad internet connection today. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, stair width can be a challenge because we don't have that concentric. So
if you're looking for a concentric resize on the stairs, an easy workaround is to just draw a center line on the existing stairs and then change the stair side and recenter the stairs on that center line. So you can get there pretty quickly with a couple of keystrokes, but there isn't a concentric resize to begin with.
Yeah, and you got to do a little bit of math. You can't just drag it. You're going to drag it and snap it to some point, and hopefully to hit tab or enter so that in Polar's checked, it tells you exactly how far you brought that before you hit tab or enter.
I guess the thing that I typically do is I'm basing my stairs on available tread sizes or common sizes for hallways or whatever. So I might take this and say, well, 36-inch flight's going to be too small. I'm going to move it to 42, in which case I would just open up the stairs themselves, change the tread width to 42, and then close it up again. And now you can set it wherever you want it.
Well, and another problem with this is, the way that I approach drawing in Chief Architect for all other things besides stairs is placing them and then sizing afterwards. And so I want to place my landing and then size. Well, it turns out that my stair tread's not wide enough. It's actually supposed to be out to here, and it's actually supposed to be out to here. And it's not going to automatically fix my new issue here now, right? So now I got to bring this to there. It's funny that we can't snap the edge of the stairs. We can't get an edit handle on the edge of the stairs. So suddenly I have to come down here. And if people didn't know this, you can reference a point, but notice that the railing is drawn over the top of the tread. So even though the railing's what looked like it's the edge of the stairs, it's actually the tread that's being dimensioned to right there. And so I can reference and try to snap it. And there we go. I pick up the reference orthogonal 90-degree extension snap. And that's tough because now I have to fix my landing, right? So it's a little bit of a backwards process in some ways. So this can be kind of challenging. The next part is when we open this up and maybe we have some setting for the, the lower stairs that is 7.75. And how does that affect everything, right? And so suddenly, did that affect our riser height? What happened? What does this actually look like? What did that change? And oftentimes it's hard to conform these two because they're fighting one another as you're setting these sizes up.
There's also there's some oddities in the terminology itself. For instance, I think it's I can't see your screen right now, but I think it's lock tread depth is actually what you use to be able to modify the tread depth. So there's some things that seem very strange, that the intent of that text field doesn't seem to represent the actual use of that text field.
Yeah, and this is a funny comment coming from Anthony Hayes. It all goes out the door when I show up to install. We just redo it all over again.
Yes.
You know, it's like you could just put a box there and say stairs.
Stairs.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go see my detail. Go build your stairs. You know how to do it. You know?
That actually, when I was building and hiring people, that was my interview question to test their knowledge, was that I would ask them, how do you build a set of stairs? And if they could tell me, then they were a real carpenter. If they couldn't tell me, then I knew that I mean, basically what I'm saying is, if you can actually from scratch take an open space, build a flight of stairs that's accurate, well done, and everything else, you're a pretty good carpenter.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I know good carpenters that would still struggle with stairs because we don't do that many of them, you know? So let's see. So now I'm in the style panel, and it's where you're going to get our tread overhang, tread thickness. This all seems to be pretty clear. Open underneath is this magical little button that does some really weird things to me. And to me, more often than not, I'm going to have this checked as open underneath, because if I want to show that it's filled underneath this set of stairs, that's usually because I want to show that there's actually a wall underneath there. And especially in my area, we oftentimes put storage under stairs. So I need to depict that. And so I'm almost always going to be open underneath. But what this does is it just extends some singular plane underneath the stairs, you know, and so that's kind of a funny one because we're also seeing our trim color here. It derives its color from the trim here. So there's no like independent control of those two. So if you need to have independent control of those two, you're going to have to draw a wall underneath this. And kind of while we're here and looking at some, you know, a vector depiction of our stairs, it's good to note that you see the stringer base here, and it drops straight down right at this point at the landing. And that's in the stringers panel. That's what this large stringer base does. In case you didn't know that, if you uncheck this, that's going to send that. Let me show you this one more time. You see it now? And we're going to go check large stringer base, and it's going to bring it back to this setup here. So it's a good one to know. And then let's see, we got a question here. Can you set up the stairs and defaults that always have a certain tread depth? Yes, you can. You can set up all kinds of stuff in defaults for your stairs. Not only that, but now X16 going on forward, you can save stairs to your library and reuse them. And that brings up, we're going to jump all over the place because that's how my brain works. That brings up a really cool thing to me that a lot of people don't know about is, let's just say you're going to build out a deck and you use a deck railing that you're always using. And so you want your stairs to match your deck railing, right? Now I've set up my staircases. You actually can set exterior stair defaults separate from interior stair defaults, so that if I draw out stairs on the exterior, these look very different from the interior stairs that I have here, okay? And it just so happens the type of projects I'm working on, I'm oftentimes have this kind of, look at this. I'm matching my deck railing to my stairs here. All right, nice. And I probably should have drawn my deck on the second floor. It would have been a better idea.
Yeah, those stairs are kind of strange, but at least it's not a pool.
Well, we should just draw this like right into the pool area here. The pool extended its walls all the way up to the ceiling. Yeah, I got some strange building standards there. So let's see if I can get my stairs into my.
Let's take off Shane's comment off of the screen so we can see what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Well, can I click in between there? I can. Haha. Did I get a deck going into the pool? Yeah. Oh, but the pool's still raised way up in the sky.
It's a really deep pool. So it's awesome.
I haven't tried this in a while, but I want to try this real quick after I fix my pool.
I like that. That looks
those
great.
Above ground pools aren't allowed right here.
Yeah, no, there's some jurisdictional grievances there.
There are.
Let's go -18. Let's take this back down.
That's just my master bedroom.
Something I recently realized, by the way, is, oh yeah, go ahead.
After you do this, do Dan Forsyth's issue because I have a problem with that too.
Oh, okay.
Now that's a nice pool.
Yeah.
I like that.
This goes right into the hot tub, actually. This is getting
Close.
good. I don't think
Yeah,
I've ever
it's really
seen that feature before. I think that's
It's pretty nice.
yeah. I mean, it should be a slide right into the hot tub. There's a ramp tool for you. We actually built a slide at the summit, and we had Kevin sliding down it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Okay, so
go back to stairs.
I drew these stairs going downward. If we didn't know that, that's a right click. So this is pretty much the only use case for that is I use the alternate draw mode. See, it's going down. If I use right click, it's going up. If I use left click, or if I did right click with the Alt button, it's going down. Now, if I were to save this to my library, add it to my library, now if I'm testing this, I have not done this before, so this is not practice, but I think that it's in the library as a going down set of stairs. So if I left click now, look at that, it defaults to going down.
That's very nice.
Nice.
Right? So you can set staircases up in your library that are always going down with your left click, which is really great if you got a an office team that maybe you have some more beginner drafters and you just we're trying to help them out. Maybe that seems more intuitive that they're going to draw the exterior staircase using the left click. Who knows?
It's also important to know that if you're going to pull a set of stairs and you're outside and there's a terrain, if you have a terrain, that set of stairs will go down and it'll meet at the terrain. Yeah. If you're pulling a set of stairs on the inside, it's assumed you're going up.
And then, great point. And then another thing I just like to know is if you draw a set of stairs and you just delete the set of stairs, please keep in mind what this is doing is it's automatically adding a door opening to whatever wall is here. And a wall could be a railing. Railing is a wall. So it's automatically adding an opening to that. So there you go. If you're doing like a retaining wall is a wall. The retaining wall tool is a wall. So if you draw stairs up to a retaining wall, it will add a break in that retaining wall.
Renee, don't forget to go back to the stair dialog box. Keep going through there because there's some things in
I
that.
have a nightmare getting a flight of exterior stairs to show up on a level above for multi-story decks. All right. So this is going to be one of those favorite features for X17 things. If you're still working in X16 and you need to fix this issue that what Dan is saying here, there's two ways of doing it. You could either build a reference, and I'll do this. This is a little more complex maybe, but I'll build a reference layer set, okay? I'm going to switch my save plan view to none so that and I'll go slow on this, Robin. You're going to tell me if I'm going too fast, okay?
I will.
I'm going to set my save plan view to none. I'm going to do that because I'm going to modify the layer set that I'm using, okay? I'm just trying to create a new layer set, but if we just create a new layer set while we're in an existing save plan view, it's going to try to reassociate that layer set with your active save plan view. That's why I set my active save plan view to none. Now I can get into what we call ALDO, active layered display options, and I'm going to copy whatever set is here, okay? I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to call this stairs only layer set. Now I'm going to select all, and if you don't have this dialog box in your active layer display options, that's because you don't have this gear icon set to have layer set control, layer name filter, layer edit buttons. The layer edit buttons are these ones right here. Okay, so I have layer edit buttons turned on. Please keep in mind you might not want to check show all layers because that means it won't show you what layer you're selecting. It will just always show all layers. All right, so I have these buttons turned on. I'm going to select all. I'm going to uncheck display, and then I'm going to search for stairs. And I want to select all again and just hit display. There we go.
So what you're doing is this layer set is only stairs.
Yep, this is only stairs, and this might be an opportunity.
Renee, remove that comment.
Okay. This might be an opportunity to change, the layer color if you want to. So we could change the layer color so that these draw as a light gray. So now I have this layer set that is only stairs. And if I go back to my working plan view in this case, then if I'm up on the floor above on this case, then I could turn on a reference display. Let me switch to the default toolbars here. Turn on a reference display, this guy, and go change the floor reference. All right, so that's this, which usually has a number on it. So change the floor reference, and what I can say is that we're keeping the existing plan as our reference, but we're going to change the layer set to this new stairs only layer set.
Hang on. Can you zoom in on that one? I'm going to make the, I have to write all this stuff down.
Yep.
It works for me.
This
I make pages like all that stuff.
In this case, I'm trying to show from the floor below. So I'm showing the floor below, stairs only. And if I press OK, there we go. Now I had nothing on my attic layer, so it's just showing the stairs from the floor below. This is just our reference layer.
Okay.
There we go. So that would be one way to show stairs on the floor above. Now, in X17, we don't need to do this. In X17, we just get to open this staircase up, and we have a whole new panel called Plan Display. And so we can say display on floor above always. We don't even need to establish a room above. And I'll show you exactly how this works. We'll go down. We've got some stairs here that I did not use that automatic tool to show through, right? And so if we go up a level, we can see that it's stairs aren't there. I'm going to go down a level again. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to get into that plan display dialog box, and I'm going to say always. And then we can even talk about how we want to display this, which is before the break line, after the break line. Do we want to show it outline, normal, etc.? Maybe before the break line, I'm going to show it as normal. After the break line, I'll show an outline. And if we go look up above, look at this. It even flips the display to show down, right? You can't click on them up here, though. That's something that might be confusing. It's similar to how it was before, but if we set this back to outline, there we go. So to answer your question, Dan, in X17, no, we do not need to have a room definition. But you're probably going to have a room definition because you probably have some railings or something going on there, unless you're someone that isn't trying to depict this in 3D. You're just doing construction documents. You're just getting them out the door. This would be a really simple solution for you. Draw your railings in. You don't need to define a room with them. Yeah. It's just that you're not going to have an opening to the floor below. That's all.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool new feature. I am trying to get back into the program, and something's glitching out on me. There we go. Okay, more stairs questions. I like to get into the stringers dialog box. A lot of people don't know just how crazy you can get with custom stringers in here. And so in this dialog box, you can set a bunch of custom setups here. This would be how you're going to set up, maybe you got concrete stairs with a center steel column base, right? And so this would be how you do that, one center stringer, something like that. But you can also do some pretty crazy stuff with two closed side stringers and then setting them to custom. Whatever you click here first, if I choose 3 standard stringers and go to custom, you're going to see everything's checked, right? To close, go to custom, there we go. So here's our kind of an opportunity where we can stack and create some features in a couple different ways. Now, I don't know why you would add multiple stringers on one side. That would be maybe if you're trying to fake some kind of particular framing detail that you're trying to pull a cross section through. I've never figured out a use case for that, but just keep in mind some of the funny things you can do in here is this height below setting. This height below can drop a stringer all the way to the ground. So if I go height below is 80, you're going to see on one side, it builds the thickness of that stringer all the way to the base, and it stops at the floor. It will not extend past the floor. So that's kind of an interesting thing that you might be able to, pull off some look or something you're trying to accomplish. Right, so this would be a way that you can get the look of an exterior concrete stairs, is that we could maybe say that the thickness of this is 8 inches, and that there is an offset panel here as well. And so we could say that, you know, maybe this is -4 offset, and very quickly we're getting to what looks like a concrete stair. So I would get back into that style panel, set the tread overhang to 0, tread thickness to 0, and maybe you'd get into materials and you'd set up a couple of these materials as some of that, you know. I'm just going to grab all these and say select material, and I'm going to use the plan materials default for, or I'm going to just set this to be concrete. I'm just going to make a whole big block of concrete stairs.
It's a lovely look.
Yeah. Good luck doing some silicone molds for that, those balusters there.
That'd be great.
So that's a couple of interesting things that you could do with, you know, our staircase. And then the extend button, you know, then that drops that down to just being squared off stairs. And the height above, you can do the same thing. We could say height above is 80 inches. So now we're just, now you've got like the secret hidden baluster inside of poured concrete.
Go back and show that the open stairs the way you did that again. What did you select?
Open underneath?
No. Just undo 2 steps of what you just did, where you had the stair, the concrete showed the stairs. What did you select there? Oh, great.
That was just, I took off the extend here.
Nice.
Now keep in mind that our custom stringer is open. So if you're offsetting it, that's going to be a funny little look. See, it's see-through. See that?
Right. Okay. And there's no way to fix that.
No, but you know, you could, I mean, if you want to get really clever, this could be a way that you just stick some lights in there, and then all of a sudden you got lights being illuminated on the tread.
Well, they could actually become planters. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever did that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
but that's cool.
I mean, that you bring up a great point. We can turn off the railings on either side, and maybe you have a stepped planter bed in your, this is an exterior staircase, right? So
right.
Just to go through and like kind of work through that is, let's just go to uncheck automatic treads. So we're going to maybe lock number of treads, and tread depth now is maybe 36 inches, right? And so now we're getting to that, like, let's go, the width of this is maybe 7 feet, right? And let's do those stringers again and set that thickness is maybe 36 inches as well. And it's offset 36 inches, or sorry, offset half the distance maybe. Oh, there's some magic number there, but yeah. Wow. Now it could be literally an exterior terraced with a garden bed.
You know, you make it work.
Yeah, why not?
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, it gives landscape designers just a whole nother thing to play with. That's a great idea. It's fabulous. See, I never play in that. That is, now you have to keep going down. You have to keep using the rest of the dialog box of all the other things that happens in there. Yeah, so one of the things that in your video, so Renee, the other thing in your video that I was watching, so Renee had a video that I watched just the other day on stairs, and it was really good. It was one of his shorts. And you were showing that you're able to modify the location of the newel post, but you had to do that with the railing made off of the stairs. You couldn't do it with the newel on the stairs when you put the railing on the stairs, but if you made a railing off the stairs and then put it on top, you were able to modify the location of the newel post. Is that always the case?
I think I'm following what you're saying, and yeah, I think so. When you, especially if you're doing a pony wall railing set to follow stairs, it wants to butt to the stairs with a pony wall. If you're doing just a railing, it wants to be over the top of the stairs, and then we have the ability with the new tools in X16 to place your newel posts manually, meaning you just get to drop them down, which is also, there's another method, another video I have in my membership area, which is showing 2 different baluster profiles on a set of stairs. And you can do that with multiple railings, one set to have no room definition, one with an offset, and then manually, move those different newels, because we'll manually move the newels, and the newels are just meant to look like the baluster. That's a little more complex as well.
Okay.
we can try to get into some of that. I was just thinking here, what if we set this the width of this staircase to just 0? And now you just have, what is that? It's still going to have a stringer in there.
You can't turn a stringer off?
Oh, we'll turn the right one off. Yeah, that's funny. Trim against wall. It still has this. I don't know what that is.
What if you offset it? Go back to your offset and make your offset all the way to the right-hand side of that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Can you get it like at 1?
There's certainly something that is still creating that thickness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now you can use stairs for planters.
Or if you just need like, you can always also do, I mean, I always try to say that these tools, well, actually, I'm going to steal what Dermot Dempsey is the lead developer at Chief Architect. He's been there for what, 20 something years. He likes to say that these things like the staircase tool, you don't need to just think of it as a staircase tool. You could think of it as a building block. It's a way to model extrusions. It's a way to model, platform level changes, something like that. So this can be a tool to do anything you want if you want to get crazy with stairs. I think most of the people in this stream just want to see us do some regular stuff with stairs that they struggle with.
Well, go back to John's first comment that he had. Says, I've always struggled with the final base tread, getting those really cool newels installed, curved and widened. That might be where you're doing the railing off of the stairs. I think I found that I do when I make my stairs is I turn off the railings and then make my railings on the floor and then move them onto the stairs. You have more flexibility and you can modify things.
Yeah.
And that
you can always just place your millwork symbol. You don't have to have it built into the stair tool. You don't have to have it built into the railing.
Is that what would solve John's question here?
Yeah, if you're getting into some really like specific details, get off of the automatic stuff and just place the railing itself and just set your railing to have no newel posts. So we could just build off of this set of stairs and we're going to
turn off his comment, Renee. Turn off his comment.
We're going to specify in the rails, or excuse me, the newels balusters that it just doesn't have newels. And so then we can use some of the tools built into the edit toolbar where maybe we're just, doing a flared stair or curved stair or starter tread, whatever, right? And span this out. We get these edit handles that are these curved edit handles. So we can span these first 2 treads out, right? We can do something like this. Something crazy. And then you would just come in here and place a millwork symbol on top of that. And that would be it.
Just add a newel post.
Yeah.
The thing that, going back to something you said just minutes ago, what Dermot told you, I have struggled over the years with the idea of thinking of this tool in terms of something that, how would this literally be built in the field? And a really wise man once advised me when I was talking about some things that I was trying to do, that you got to look at this not like it's a stair tool or a cabinet tool or whatever else. Just forget those terms and think of it like it's a tool that does these things. And if those shapes are what you want, it's a good tool for that.
Exactly.
That's a really hard jump to make because from beginner on thinks in terms of, well, how would this be built?
Yeah, I like to think of things in terms of our associations, right? Oh boy, that's interesting looking.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's a nice look.
There we go. Let's do that instead. Let's set this to 3 and spacing 3. I don't know how to reset flares though. I don't know that we have that option. Do we have that? Remove stair line, starter tread, flare, curve stairs. Yeah, it's like once you flare them, you're stuck. You can't do anything about it. Sorry.
You can't get rid of them?
You can split the stair right there, throw the lower staircase away and pull the other one down. Then they're gone.
Look at this fancy looking thing.
Doesn't look like you're meeting code, but
no.
Yes.
I love the handrail
though.
I want to just say real quick about stairs. Something nice to know is that a lot of times it is beneficial to have a railing that follows stairs because we get those additional controls that you don't get otherwise. I'm going to get rid of all these stairs real quick. We'll just draw in some new ones. And then we also get rid of some of these walls. And so we'll just draw in a set of stairs here. And I want to say that the stairs has no railing. Okay, so in the railing panel, I'm just going to say it's got no railing. Bam, bam, just like that. Now I want to use the railing tool, and I'm going to draw right on top of the stairs here. And then if I open up that railing, you know, a lot of us know this, but some of us don't. If we open up this railing in the rail style panel, we're going to say follow stairs. Now, find this to be very interesting. It seems to be out of the box that this was kind of doing a follow stairs. I don't know if that's some kind of internal thing in Chief now in X17, or if they just had it backwards, but yeah, that was interesting that the preview showed something different. So what would be the benefit of this is drawing in these manual stairs? Well, I'm selecting here, and what it's showing me is this is a stair. I mean, a railing is just a wall. So it's showing us our wall, okay? It's showing us that this is a 36-inch tall wall, or actually in my case, this looks like it's 42. This is something new that's in X17. It's showing us this dimension, which is very cool. So this is a 42-inch plus that 7/8-inch finish railing, because this is pushed all the way through. What would happen if we open this railing up right now, and in the wall types, changed our interior railing type, which I think this is actually should be true, is if we change this to partition wall. Okay.
And why do you do that?
If we change this to partition wall, that should be that it doesn't build through the platform. It's interesting that it's still showing us the 7/8 as well. But what's really cool about this new feature in Chief is I can take this top edit handle here, click on this dimension, and say 45 inches instead. And that just raised the height of my railing.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. So we're doing this in 3D now. The other thing you can do with this railing selected, and mind you, I'm just clicking on the newel right here. I'm clicking on the newel to get this selection. If I hit tab or enter, look what it does. It highlights my newels so that I can just take this and drag it down the stairs. That's pretty cool.
Can you get rid of one of them? How do you get rid of that middle one? I don't want it. I can
select this right here and right click for me. I have a double click contextual menu, hit delete, bam, gone. Cool. So,
but you can't do that when it's when you're in the
stair, when it's railing in the stair dialog box, right?
Got it.
So if I click on this staircase now, I want you to notice something in the newels balusters panel is that spacing method is set to manual. We manually changed something, so it's remembering that. If we go back to automatic and we press OK, it's going to put our newel post right back where it was. So to kind of bring this full circle back to what John was saying is sometimes we have some really complex stair railings that we want to set up, and we have to get really specific about, you know, details on the baluster. If you're getting to that level of detail, something that you could think about railing, thinking outside of the box, think about its capabilities as opposed to what it is. Then if you uncouple the word newel from your mind and you just realize this is something we have a lot of manual control over, whereas we don't with balusters, we could come in here and set the balusters to be 0 inches thick. Okay. And oh, that's interesting. It doesn't let me do 0 inches thick anymore. Used to. Instead, you might have to do, oh, I have to set it to a non-profile to get 0 maybe. Oh, interesting. Used to be that you could set this to 0 or say that it has no balusters. So you might have to make just a blank thing from the library to put in there.
What were you planning on doing with that?
I'm trying to make it so that this just disappears. Those balusters disappear.
Well, couldn't you just turn the balusters into a panel, go back to railing and change the style into a panel and then get rid of the center section?
Yeah, you could, where it's or an open. Let's see.
Open.
There you go. You're thinking.
Yeah, to open.
Open. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at the big brain.
For something, I got it.
So now in my newels, I could go and find that same profile. I'm just going to type in baluster profile because balusters are just a millwork symbol as well. So I can find this spindle instead, and I could set this to be whatever it's supposed to be, 1.25 inches. And then I can set my spacing to be, I don't know, 3 inches again. And this is still following our stairs up.
I think you have to get rid of your center. Oh, no, it's not.
Yep, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to leave that railing in. They're spiking through the railing. That means this height is a little bit different than this height, right?
Is there a center rail on that, or is that just the design of the newel post you chose?
That's just the design. Okay. And so now those are just following the stair tread. And I mean, they're not perfect. They're not. And obviously the railing's going to look kind of goofy because it's segmented, because I have it set wrong. Because it's the rail style then is going to be post to rail. There we go. But yeah, you can technically now tab in here and move all these little bitty guys if you wanted to.
You could. Oh, that's pretty cool. And this is an X17 modification. It's not this. No, this was available in 16.
This is still X16. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Larry Sweeney says, "Wish there was an easy way to add a molded edge on the tread and a return nosing." There is. I find it to be very easy, actually. It's just not something that's integrated. Okay. Which
turn off Larry's comment, please.
All right. So Larry's comment is what? Wish there was an easy way to add a molded edge on a tread and a returned nosing.
Key there is easy.
And key there is easy. I do think that this is easy. It's just a little bit of a process. Once you do it once, you have it in your library forever, which is what do we have that has a bunch of profile capabilities?
Countertop.
A cabinet.
Yeah.
Cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just going to use the countertop, right?
Yeah, but
and turn the countertop into a tread.
Because we can get customized riser here as well. You know, detail.
Oh, you could do the whole thing.
Well. Yeah. So you can come in here, delete your toe, leave one, door panel is what you want to use. So it automatically turns off some stuff. And then you're just going to front sides back. You're going to go to back and say none. You're going to go to left and say none. You're going to go to right and say none. And this is going to leave you with a bottom and a top. Okay. You're going to get into box construction. You're going to say no bottom, right? Look what you got here. It's starting to look awful lot like what you need, right?
Right.
And then kind of the
do your overhang on your. You can actually bring your stair overhang out further if you want to.
You'd probably do an inset, and then you'd set framed to 0. Okay, so that's going to get rid of any other stuff just besides that front door only. You're going to add some kind of molding profile. Let's go EMO2.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going to follow a curved wall or build out that grand newel, that grand stair at the bottom.
Grand stair at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do the flared stair with the rounded end.
Oh, the flared. Well, then you just use the molding. Come on, get out of here. It's bothering me.
And now you just have to change the height of the cabinet.
What would you do, Kevin? What would you do?
Yeah, I'd do a serpentine set of stairs.
You do a radius. What? You do a radius front cap.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Yeah.
And so the last bit of this is, what are we going to set this height to? Is maybe it's an 11-inch. Oops, 11-inch tread. Right.
So that's your depth.
Or excuse me, depth is 11, or it's going to be less than that. It's something like this, and height 11, something like that. Who knows?
And
something
there
like
it is.
that. And there it is. And so the last.
And now you just save it.
And you just you're going to want to kind of place this in front. Right, like that, and then you pull some kind of camera elevation.
But your height's too high still, though.
Well, and you don't even have to bother with this, but when you're coming into section view, just make sure your section camera turns on cabinet bases, and maybe you put that on a different layer. And
wasn't that easy, Larry?
Actually, but then you save this and it's done.
You save it, and that's it.
Yeah.
You get to use it over and over again. Now, I don't know what's happening where I can't see this in the plan.
What's the height set at?
Finished floor to bottom is 0.
Okay.
And we pulled a...
Do you have cabinets turned on in that profile view?
Yeah, I do. So what did I do wrong? I actually don't know.
I don't know either. I don't see it.
Is it turned on? I can't see.
Yeah, cabinets, base, layer, turn on. Who knows?
Turn on. Make sure countertop is turned on. Well, it wouldn't. It's cabinet base is turned on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
Are you doing? You're doing an elevation.
I'm telling you, I'm really good at breaking the software.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Renee.
Did I do backclip? No, it should be on. We should be seeing it right now. I don't know.
We should be.
Couldn't tell you.
Is it? Well, it's not underneath.
Still a
You
wall.
don't have that layer turned on.
No, it's not because you're.
Oh, there it
is.
Why did that just show up just now?
Well, I changed the camera type. If that was helpful at all.
What did you change the camera type to?
Wall elevation instead. So I have no idea why we couldn't see it. But here we go. Is you just kind of place this arbitrarily, get it to where you need it to be, right? Obviously, my tread overhang is a little bit heavy here. Let's just go 0 in this case because we want that molding to just be stacked right on the front face of this thing. And then what's great about this is you just get to kind of drag this back. In fact, the stairs themselves, you probably open these up, set that overhang to 0 inches, and just leave the tread thickness there. And now you should be able to kind of jockey this into place. And then once you have it right where you need it, and you have the depth of it right where you need it, this is where you're just going. And you can extend this back, right? Because that's going to extend that profile back if you need this to return over the top of your trim stringer. So that's another kind of benefit of this. And I don't have this quite tall enough, I don't think. So you might have to mess around with this a little bit, but then we're just going to multiple copy.
In this instance, you're using a physical solution to create that, and you're repeating it, and therefore, if you change the stair size or anything else, this is not affected. This stays in the shape that
you're going to have to go edit this as well. So this would be the last detail that you do.
With the same idea, though, couldn't you take a 3D polyline and pull it up the flight of stairs and apply a profile to that? Just wrap it around your set of stairs anyway?
Yeah. I just find this to be way faster once you've built it.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you built
it. It's
kind
kind of tedious to start with, but once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got the placement of this wrong. Let's see. I need to just.
I think you got one extra.
Yeah. Multiple copy.
Okay, Renee, you need to, now you're going to fuss with this for a while, but you needed to show a lot of you guys don't know that Renee has videos that you can just watch. They're a VIP package. So Renee, show that. He's going to play with this. Larry, I hope you got figured out.
I got
See
the
what
heights wrong.
Renee's going to work on this for the next hour. So
yeah, I got the heights wrong.
He just has to tweak his riser height.
Yeah,
there you go.
I do have to tweak my riser height.
That was well done.
Yeah, kind of the other cool thing about this is if you get it placed exactly, really well placed, you can still use the automatic runner on there, and the runner will cover your detailed molding stairs. And I do have a video on that, and you said me bring this up.
Let me ask the question though. Then you could actually save that whole stair system to your library, and now you have it again.
Well, you would have to architecturally block all the cabinets together. Would be something you have to do. Yeah. So yeah, this brings me to, thank you. I need to plug my own stuff, which is, I have a membership area in my YouTube, and this is, it's $35 a month. But as I was telling Robin before the show started, you don't have to go commit to paying every month. You go in, you pay $35, watch as many videos as you can that month, cancel it. You can come back, do it again when you need a refresher, cancel it. It's not something that you have to commit to in terms of long-term subscription, because there's 70 or 80 hours worth of content in there that's top level content, as much as I can give you. So there's a lot of cool things in here, including, how I built in my 9-minute tool. There's Ruby scripting stuff. There's custom cabinetry things in here. There's, how can we create duplicate schedules, but only get one schedule number? I have methods for that. How to do this custom split dovetail drawer. All kinds of crazy stuff in here. And I mean, there's more videos than you can even really take a look at. Here is that 2x baluster. So 2 profiles on one set of stairs. I'm telling you how to do landscaping stuff, telling you how to build in automatic porch extensions, all kinds of stuff. So go check that out if you're interested. There's a ton of stuff. Pick out a couple videos you want to watch that month. Have fun. Leave me some comments.
And you find it through, you can hook up with it through your website.
You can find it on my website. I just pumped in 5 billion hours into my website to try to make things easier to find.
And your website is called?
rabbitdesign.net. 2 B's, 2 T's, design.net. That's this guy right there. And that'll bring you to this. It's got a funny little scrolly thing on the front here. But if you just hover over this menu at the top, this will bring you to a bunch of different things, including my, well, actually my YouTube channel is at the very bottom in the footer. But in this menu now, I'm putting a lot of resources for you. So you can get in and click on the headings or click on the subheadings here, and it'll get you to a bunch of tools that will help you out in your drafting and design business. So I've got, hey, look at that. I got a Pro Academy link in here. But
nice.
Yeah, I've got tools for you to remove backgrounds of images, convert PNGs, DXFs, anything you want into anything else. Tools for code lookup, probably, one of my most clicked on things here is a really great tool for looking up reference codes. And then other community support stuff as well. And then, yeah, if you scroll down, here's my YouTube right there.
Nice.
And Shane is asking where the name Rabbit came from.
That's my last name. Renee Rabbit.
Somebody gets lucky.
My mama gave it to me.
Yeah.
It's a great name. Okay, you guys, we're done.
We are done.
Are we
This
really?
was helpful.
Oh man, that was
I know.
fast.
It goes really fast.
That was fast.
That was
you
really
all.
great. Thank you
you
guys for all your
joining us,
questions.
Bill.
I feel like we didn't even talk about stairs.
Oh, we've got a
No,
lot.
you did a great job.
You got started on them. That's
You know,
good.
actually, I just
Started
want to
on
make
stairs.
one. I just want to make one comment about this. One of the things that I learned from Renee, which I thought was great, is I have a railing that I designed that we created. We created just a railing on the wall, and we had it follow stairs, and then that's saved to my library. So now I can just take that railing and throw it on my stairs, and it's done. I don't have to open a dialog box. I just type in railing in my library and just put it onto my plan.
Yeah.
So it's this great little tricks. Anyway, I want to say, Renee, I want to say thank you because I learned a lot. Stairs are always complicated, and this was helpful.
I'm going to show what you just talked about real quick because I actually put this in my toolbar. This is stairs with no railing. Okay, you can just click this on, and then this is a railing that follows stairs. So it's exactly what you were just saying. So that when I go look at this, that's going to be a railing that follows stairs. It's just really easy to get to a custom set of stairs fast that way, right? That's just super simple. And then just to wow you guys, my new Pro plan that's out, it comes with a bunch of new wall tools. One of those wall tools is going to make a lot of you excited and some of you mad that it wasn't around a lot earlier, which is that I've got a new stone wall tool and I've got a new board and batten tool. So you saw that I just drew 4 walls. Well, we go outside and just turn on a little rendering method. You're going to see that.
Nice.
Really nice.
Nice. Really well done.
Renee, we are at the point, but I do want to point out that you got a nice testimonial from Ricky Hewitt saying that he highly recommends joining the VIP program. And
cool.
Let's see, who was it? Dennis James said he's ready to purchase the Pro plan. What should he do first? So there you go.
Yeah, load X17 first. I got an X17 version of it. We're in beta, so we're still working in the install process for the toolbars are a little bit complicated right now, and I'm working it out. I'm working with the dev team over at Chief to figure all that out. So yeah, we're gonna get that all ironed out very shortly. But yeah, the X17 versions of my templates are the most improved thing I've ever done. So they're really exciting for me as well. And thank you guys. You guys have anything to plug before we shut it down?
No, nothing. Nope. This was great.
Yeah,
really great.
Everybody
well done.
Keep coming back. We sure appreciate the attendance, and we have a lot of fun doing this. So keep coming back. Bye all.
Bye. Take care.
Forgot how to end the stream.
I love it.